I'm headed out on a road trip for the next few days. Going today to see Oche'Nah, see how she's doing, what she's up to, down in south central Washington. And then I am going to go on down back to Skamania and search a half day tomorrow for Christopher Zitzwitz and a half day for Austin Oldfield. It's been a long time since I've been able to get down there. I kind of hate to right now because I'm kind of stressed about trying to get this cabin done before winter, and it's slow going and hard to fit time in before work, between work and family and everything. So anyhow, it's really great. A couple guys from the Search and Rescue volunteered to help me search tomorrow, so I'm really grateful for them and looking forward to spending some time with some old buddies there. Yeah, so that's cool. I'm not looking forward to spending time out there with this injured hand. I did something stupid. I was getting firewood. No, I mean I was getting wood at the lumber store, and lumber yard when I'm in the lumber store. Anyhow, I was getting wood, and I stepped over the tongue of the trailer, and usually I step on it or just one foot over and then the other foot, because I've tripped on that before. And anyhow, not this hard though, and I started to fall forward because I think I was in a hurry, and I just jumped over it and put out my arms to grab, I think, the car and the trailer beside me, but I missed both. Well, I got the windshield wiper on the back of the car, and it sliced open my finger, a couple fingers, and gouged, completely took the skin off a part of this one. And so it's been pretty painful, bruised my hand, my ego, my back, pulled the muscle in it, and this morning I was noticing that my rib is bruised in the front because I think I kind of hit chest first on the ground. Anyhow, that's a bummer, and I hate to be going out in the woods like that. I wish I would have got a picture because there was tons of blood. I had to get out of there because people were in the way, and by the time I remembered to take a picture, I kind of cleaned it up already, partially at least. And but it was pretty wicked for a few minutes there. My wife was telling me about this guy that did the same thing. He was carrying his baby, and it was coworkers of hers, and he tripped and he held on to the baby because he didn't want it to hurt, and he hit both elbows first on the ground and broke both elbows. Yikes. Glad I didn't do that. All right, Oche'Nah and I have been shooting the bull for the last hour or so. We're down here in the Yakima Nation, and I wanted her to talk about her nonprofit some more.
Hi everyone, it's a pleasure to be here today, and I thought that I would take opportunity with Nikia's kind generosity to do another film for YouTube today, to show you another side of me personally and the nonprofit known as ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach and Equine Therapy. So I've got some things laid out here on the tailgate of my truck today.
I'm going to back up here for a second. Oche'Nah does a lot of beadwork, and the stuff that she started to show here is stuff that is not for sale. She does a bunch of beadwork for sale that she will sell to raise funds for the nonprofit. So we're going to go to that now, and then we'll go jump back to showing her some of the personal beadwork that she's done over the years that's a little bit more advanced. But this is some of the stuff that you can order on, by contacting her on Facebook or giving her a call if you like to help support this equine therapy to help Native American women and from the Yakima Nation who have been abused and who need a place of shelter and therapy. Did I say that right?
Well, I can't actually offer people shelter at this time. I'm not in a position to do so, but I offer them comfort with the issues that they're dealing with. That is the goal and the hope of ODM-MIPSAHH, is to somehow be able to get land here to start a ranch called the Triple R Ranch, Rescued, Redeemed, and Renewed. I would like to see a facility here that is big, that has a safe house type of situation where people can come to the ranch to be in my programs with the horses and different things that I have to offer for substance addiction and domestic violence and childhood trauma and things like that. So that's really the goal. I don't necessarily want to go too in depth of my own personal situation. It's a very difficult subject. My living situation is entirely off-grid, I will say. I do not have, at this time, means to conduct the type of ministry that other people who have land and barns and trucks and panels for the horses and all this stuff have. You know, I'm still building this organization, and I will just say this. I lost everything I had years ago due to illness from the trigeminal neuralgia, and I'm still trying to put back together my own life, okay, and build this ministry. And so that's kind of where it's at right now. But these things right here, you can buy from me online. These are brand new items. I just call them hair bobs, okay? They're glass beads and the horses are plastic. And they range from $5 from the little tiny ones clear up to 10 to the large long ones with the ribbons. And I make other kinds too that have feathers in them. I just don't have those available right now. I had sold out on those kinds. So if you are interested in little accents for your hair or your children, then these are a rather affordable item that can be easily shipped without too much cost in shipping and handling and insurance and things like that. This here is a wire horse. It's wire art that I do. I don't do these very often because it's hard on my hands. But this is meant to just hang up. And once it's hung up, it stays. It's gotten a little loose because of transport all the time and people bothering it and handling it. But the braids move, the hair moves, and it's all glass and crystal. And it just hangs up on your wall or in your window or something like that, where the light can shine off of it. And I have all kinds of different shapes. I do horses running like this, great big ones, to small little ponies that fit inside of a hoop this big, and things. So I got a variety of things in that wire art category. And then here's some chokers. This is another item that I try to have in stock. A nice variety. This one here is all crystal. It's strung on wire for strength. It's got bone spacers. This one here, though, this is my prize piece. And I'm surprised it stayed up here this long because, truthfully, I want to steal it for myself. This is all fire polished beads and bone spacers. And the pretty silver beads that you see here, right here, that's hematite. This piece here has a marked value of $60. The crystal one has a marked value of $40. And they're tied off with buckskin. This is made out of shell and fire polished glass. This one's $28.
That's really cool.
So there's different kinds, one for whatever style people like, you know. And then there's lots of other things that I do too. I have a bag full of brand new items here. I just sold one of these yesterday vending, which was really nice. Beaded medicine bottles.
Ah, cool. Nice.
These ones here, I don't really like these. They're hard to get open, but they look nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have new styles of hair sticks. Now this is something that gives me an opportunity to say something about the ministry, okay? Because you might wonder, I think Nikia mentioned that I vend and sell this stuff to help fund the nonprofit, okay? But that's not the only reason I do this, okay? I set up down at the Yakima Nation Agency, and it's free to do it. And I set up my Bibles and gospel tracts and things like that. And now I'd really like to take just a moment, bring you over here, come with me. I'm going to show you guys this stuff so you can see what I'm talking about here, okay? I have this duffel bag here that's really gorgeous. I just got this for my birthday. And this is one of the Bibles that I give out, called the Sacred Road Book. And it's meant for the reservations. It's a New Life Testament, the New Testament. And here is the other version of the one that we have available, where I was saying earlier, the original cover for this one here is out of print now. They had to come up with a new cover for it. And then here's one for a veteran. This man has his story and testimony in here to encourage veterans with PTSD to know the Lord Jesus Christ as their Savior. And here is some gospel tracts that I have. Now, I'd like to say at this point that when I had the original version of these, for probably the first, I guess, 3 or 4 years that I was here before they went out of print. And I didn't have access to these Sacred Road books yet. I only have these little tiny ones. I distributed approximately 300 to 400 of these.
Wow.
Within the first 3 or 4 years that I was here. And then probably about 1,000 of these in 5 years' time now.
Wow.
And probably close to around 800 of these. And then I have a different one that actually has the gospel message in the Dene language, the Navajo language. And I'm not sure if I have those anymore or not. And then I have these booklets, and I have like 8 different kinds of these here. And child abuse and suicide are on the top list. I'm constantly running out of these. I really need people to help with funding for this type of thing. And you can go to Indian Life Ministries in Canada. Okay, look them up, Indian Life Ministries. That's where I get this material from. And you can go there yourself. I had a friend in Portland, Oregon, who went to Indian Life directly and ordered me a box of stuff. And that's how I got a lot of these things right here. And these books, because she ordered that stuff for me to restock because we were so low. So I also have these here, which are really nice. And I'll get back to those hair sticks in a minute. I have children's comic books here that have a story about God to encourage little kids, little Indian kids, because they go through so much in growing up on the reservation. This one here seems to be one of the favorite magazines here, comic books. It really runs low quite often. And I found out that There was a 65-year-old man that works for the tribe that got a hold of this copy. And word got to me that the 65-year-old man was reading this and was really into this. Okay? I mean, he couldn't put it down. It was like a novel to him. He was addicted. And he was going on and on and on about this children's comic book that he got. And he says, this is really cool. I like this. This is neat. This talks about God and everything. It's really cool. And this lady's telling me about this. I'm like, I thought at first she was talking about a child until she told me it was a 65-year-old man. I was thinking, wow, okay, that's kind of neat, you know. So I never know who is going to end up reading this stuff or anything like that. And then here's some other books that I have. Hope for the Hurting. This is for teens who have survived or endured sexual abuse. I teach them how to cope with those things, because most of the people, I'm sure, in their lives are not well equipped to address those issues.
Right.
Including the church, unfortunately. So these kinds of materials I have to help people, because there's so much of it here. There's just so much of it. Here's another one here. And by the way, most of these things are written by Indian people too.
Wow.
And then published by Indian Life Ministries. So Tom Utley is the one who produced all the writings for these types of things here. And then there's alcohol, and this is for kids for the same reasons. And there's one about gambling and a couple other ones. I can't really think of what they are. And then there's this book here, The Council Speaks. This is stories from across Indian country of people, how they got saved and delivered from alcohol and things like that, and learn how to walk with Yeshua HaMashiach. So that's kind of what kind of material this organization gives out, and we're always needing funds for this stuff because it is expensive, you know, and people want it for free too, which kind of creates a problem because for lack of funding, you know. There are people dying out here, okay? MMIW, missing and murdered Indigenous women, all right? Rosenda Strong. I want to make a difference, that's all. I know how bad my life used to be, okay? And it's all coming to the surface now with the sex trafficking and the child abuse and the pedophilia, all right? There's a reason why you see me so angry, because I was a victim of all these things for the first 14 years of my life. And so I know there's a way to make an impact in people's lives and rescue girls out on the streets, things like that. And I'm hoping to see a homeless person or persons, hopefully, get to go to the camp this year for a couple of months, you know, and just get away from their hell for a little while. Have an opportunity to pick a berry and make some money doing it, have some fun doing it, learn how to make a basket, be around the horses, you know, camp out. And, you know, unfortunately, if they are able to go, then I've got to bring them back here, you know, and that bothers me. I don't have anywhere to take them or anything else to offer them when we come back. And it would be nice if I could just scoop people off the streets, like a girl I seen yesterday running out of a house, carrying a roller laundry basket that was tall, and bags, heavy bags just stuffed over her shoulders, and she was running down Highway 97 out of a home, trying to leave something immediately. And I know for a fact that the cops here get a minimum of 10 domestic violence calls per day. So I've got some things laid out here on the tailgate of my truck today just to display some of my past history as a bead worker, as a native artist. I was a powwow dancer. There's a photograph here of when I used to be a powwow dancer years ago. And some of the items that I have here, this is something that is real special to me, and I really would like to share this with everyone. This little bag is in the photograph in my hand here, and I use this bag to carry something that is precious to the story of my life and ODM-MIPSAHH. It's very meaningful, and my name is also beaded on here. And I just want to share these 3 precious coins that I have. Okay, this is the first coin that I got. Can you see that on film, Nikia? Okay. Yep. This was given to me when I first got clean and sober and was delivered of meth and alcohol 20 years ago. And it has Indian prayer on the back. And then this is the second one I received at a meeting many years ago, and I don't remember what anniversary I had at the time. It was probably around 10 years or so. And this is the one that I received recently here on the reservation in White Swan at a sobriety powwow at the pavilion. And I was very honored to receive this coin and give my testimony there. So I thank you for the opportunity to just show these and share these with you, because these are very, very meaningful to me for the story that I have to tell, and in the way of encouraging people that you can get this far too. And it's not easy, but you can get as far as I've made it. But the only way that I made it is with God, and that's just the truth of my life. So I just wanted to share that with people and hope that would encourage some people. And this here is my butterfly barrette that I made years ago. And it's actually broke right here. I got to repair it, so it's kind of been put away a little bit. And an old antique bag that I put beadwork on with old beads here. A buckskin bag that I beaded with cut beads. You can see it's really sparkles, little tiny beads. Yeah. I did these things when I could see yet, and I didn't have to wear glasses to see what I was doing. This bag here keeps all my hair ties, my fur hair ties and things like that in it, my shells. And these are all very old beads that I made with that one there. And here's a knife case that I made here. The friend of mine who's passed on now gave me this knife as a gift years ago when I lived in Carson, Washington. And he told me that this knife was involved with the Big Hole battle. It was a Nez Perce battle in Idaho. And he did the wrapping on the handle with the fishing twine that we use on the Columbia River. Really nice work. And I made this case to honor that gift. And it's all made out of elk hide. It's got bear grease in it and everything. And I packed this just like that on my leg up in the berry fields. This one here I made when my horse turned up missing at the Sawtooth berry fields. Tells a story about him turning up missing up there.
Nice.
It's quill work here. And this was a gift when I went up to Packwood one time. Somebody told me that they had a dream, and they met this Indian woman in their dream, and they heard a voice telling them to give this woman a knife, and they were a knife maker. And that guy said he met several people that day at the Packwood flea market that they have up there a couple times in the year during Labor Day and Memorial Day weekend. And I go up on Labor Day when berry season is going. And when he met me, he told me, he says, I need to give you this knife. I seen you in my dream last night.
Wow.
And I was told to give you this.
That's crazy.
So, wow, man,
Wow.
You're kidding. So that was a beautiful gift right there. And then I had somebody make a case for me because I didn't even know how then. This one, I just got this one for my 50th birthday and to celebrate all the things that I just recently celebrated for being clean and sober for 20 years and the 10th annual camp and ODM-MIPSAHH being 4 years old. This is a Damascus blade. And I looked these knives up on the internet and I couldn't find one anything like this one at all. It's bone handle. And this thing was quite sweet. And I just fell in love with it and we paid 40 bucks for it.
Wow.
Knives like this cost well over 300 or 400. This is a little skinner. And this piece on the end here, you use that to go in your hide like this to separate your hide, you know. Like, you know, you'd have, you know, say this is the muscle structure, okay, on your animal, your carcass, and this is your hide here, okay, and then you gotta take your knife, you know, and get in these small parts like that, right, where the hide is stuck, and it just gets it out real nice so you don't have scars on your hide. And then you take this around like this, and then you just run it up and you peel that hide right off like that.
Nice.
I'm just waiting to use it. I hope when I go bow hunting this fall that that I'll be able to use that knife. This is my mushroom knife. My friend that gave me this knife here, he gave me this one too.
Wow.
I've had this one a long time. And this is a berry basket I've made out of cedar bark. I take people out on a class, teach them how to take care of their bark up there at camp. This is a basket that I got for my birthday recently. I'm looking forward to picking berries in it. This is my hat y'all see on the internet, on the YouTube videos. I just got a different band on here now. And my horse's tail, the first time I cut my horse's tail. So these are some pictures here I'd like for people to see. This is when I first rescued my horse. And I put this blanket on him. I don't have a lot of pictures of him in the condition that he was in. You can see here his tailbone and how his butt is just sunk in here. He had a body mass of about 2 in this picture. And he had a lot of open wounds on his body. So I put a pretty blanket on him and braided his hair and gave him some grain on the back of the truck. And he just was so loved and everything. So we got pictures of me vending. This is some of the things that I do here on the reservation. I do a lot of vending. I've been vending for 30 years actually. And I sell a lot of cookies and things and beadwork and stuff like that. And sometimes at powwows and whatnot, I'll have things for kids where they can do crafts. I got some of the children here. I just enjoy these little children so much here on the nation. Here's one of the Bibles that I used to be able to give out. We no longer have access to these in print. They've gone out of print and we got some different ones now. But I do still carry things like this here and put them on the table. And here's an elder here that has passed away that I was so privileged to come to know and interact with and even be able to support the family in the time of her pancreatic cancer. So I just praise God, you know. Here's a child, a little dancer holding one of the Bibles and little children making crafts. Here's my friend Claudia that helps make cookies and things like that. Here's a lady that came over here, needed to hug a horse one day. This is the same lady here in another session. So that's kind of what ODM-MIPSAHH does a little bit right there. For things that go on with the vending and the powwows and things like that. We got this cross here that's part of the display made out of horseshoes that somebody was kind enough to donate to me locally here that they make these things. And this piñata here is going to go up to camp this year, and we're going to probably do this at the free pancake breakfast. So people can take a swing at that and have some fun. And so let's see here. Now, Nikia, I don't want to embarrass you or anything here, but I have a gift bag for you.
Wow.
And it is a little heavy here.
Oh, goodness.
There is some of my gourmet jam that I have made up on the mountain at the camp for you and your wife to just show appreciation for these wonderful videos that you've made to promote the story of this organization and these horses and things that take place here on this reservation.
Wow. Do you mind if I check?
Yeah, I'd like to just give you a moment now and have you say whatever you'd like to say.
Oh, thank you. I am looking. Number one, I'm looking forward to tasting these. They look delicious. And no, it's been a pleasure. It was just, I thought it was just an interesting way how we met, and I'm glad I met you. And I just think it's really cool what you're doing here. And there's a lot of need here on the reservation.
Yes.
But just everywhere, and it's just nice to see these points of light. Wait, that's somebody. I did not intend that to be a political. I think somebody used that in a political campaign. But you know, points of hope where people are trying to do the right thing and do a good thing, and yeah. So I really appreciate that. So thank you, Oche'Nah.
Thank you.
And it's been great getting to know you and spending some time here and seeing your stuff. Tell me what is going on with this camp this summer. You still have some needs, right?
Yes, I do. I'm still looking for a crew to get the horses up there and transport 40 bales of hay. If you'd like to walk over here with me for a moment, we'll take a look at the hay here that has to be taken up. It's a pretty sizable load. And we're really low on funds. You know, I hate to sound like I'm dragging on and on and on about the needs for this organization, but the needs are real. They're very real. Because I've been battling a terrible illness with something called trigeminal neuralgia, and it's what's called the suicide disease. I don't really want to go into that a whole lot at length right now. I'd encourage you to investigate trigeminal neuralgia on your own time and find out what it is that I'm talking about here, but I've suffered with it for a great number of years and went down in history with the American Medical Association several years ago, and it's returned. And I took several ambulance rides at the tail end of this winter and this spring, so I've been having trouble recovering from that and the medications that the doctors have put me on, and going through doctor after doctor after doctor. It's taken its toll. And then the truck broke down. The diesel truck broke down twice. First it was the water pump, and that cost my entire disability check to fix. Then it was the starter. That cost almost half of my disability check to fix. And I don't really have means physically to go out and work because of my spinal conditions and other issues that I have with my health. So just asking people to, if you can, you know, I don't want you to give out of compulsion. I want you to give from the heart because you believe what ODM-MIPSAHH is doing.
Tell me about this hay. It's special hay, right?
Yes, it's certified hay. When you go into the wilderness, you'll see signs that say certified weed-free, and that's for people who are taking stock out into the mountains. It's required by law to carry this kind of feed with you. So the law enforcement does check. I get checked by federal law enforcement to see if I got my tags to prove that my hay is indeed certified. I've been told things like, that ain't certified hay, you have the wrong color of twine on it. It has to be two-colored twine And I have argued at that point over law enforcement. So seems I won that issue because I encouraged that officer to look further into the requirements for that, because it is not actually the law that they have to do that. The people that I buy this hay from are the only ones in this whole area that offer certified hay. So people come from a long ways to get their hay. All the BCH people, backcountry horsemen, are provided with their supply. So this is what I got, and it's just prime stuff. It's just beautiful. You know, it looks like this because it's bleached by the sun, but as soon as you cut it open, it's just really, really green, you know.
Oh, yeah,
you know, you can see and you can smell it and stuff. It's really nice. So my horses just love it, and
it smells like hay. Smells good.
You know, it's got to get up to the mountain somehow. And then this truck, Calamity Jane, she's leaking tranny fluid all over, and I need somebody to drive her up there because she carries the camp. And if you'll come this way with me, there you go. I mean, you can take a look down there. There's a great big gigantic wet spot underneath my pickup where you can see all the tranny fluid coming out. So Calamity got donated brand new tires last year, and I got donated this $10,000 diesel truck last year from people in Georgia. I'd like to give those people credit, but I'm not going to reveal their names or anything because that's improper in ministry to do so. I will just say that they're business owners in Georgia, and they're Christians, and they heard about my trouble, and I'd really like to tell this story because this is just really, really cool, okay? I'll make this really quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook one day, and I seen somebody come up, and people you might know. I'm like, no, I don't know this person. And God said, send him a Facebook friend request. Send him a friend request. I was like, huh? What? So he said, do it now. I'm telling you guys, the Holy Spirit told me, do this. So I, of course, checked him out. I vet everyone. And I thought, oh, yeah, okay, he's got a pretty good looking page here, you know. So I sent him a friend request. 3 days later, I got a message through Facebook Messenger. And it says, hello, we would like to meet you by talking with you on the phone. Do you accept a Facebook Skype call, or do you want a phone call? And I was just going, whoa, okay, wow. No Skype, please. Phone call. And I sent them my business card, and they called immediately. So I began to talk to these people, and they're real excited on the phone, okay? So this man, he says, how do you say your name? I said, Oche'Nah. He says, okay, well, look, we've got a story to tell you, okay? And we just need you to listen. Just listen. Don't talk. Just listen to us, okay? I said, all right, I'm listening. And he said, we're going to go to an event. And this was a couple weeks ago. And I need you to hear this story, so don't talk. I really need you to be quiet and listen to me, okay? Are you listening? I was like, yeah, I'm listening. Everything else, being quiet. And he says, okay, we have a long story to tell you, and we need you to just listen. And I was, okay, I'm listening, okay? And his wife jumped in there and piped up and says, let me tell it to her, let me tell it to her. And he says, okay, Amelia, you tell it to her. So she says, hi, my name's Amelia, blah, 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 blah. And she says, now listen here. I started laughing again. These people must have told me to listen 20 times, okay? And I told her, I'm listening. And she says, my husband came to me one day, and she says, he told me, honey, I want you to go down, buy yourself a brand new dress, because I'm taking you on a date next week, okay? And I want you to look nice. And I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, I'm listening. What does this have to do with anything, you know? And she goes on and on, just all excited. She says, oh, we're going on a date. Oh, cool. I'll just have a date. So she went out and bought herself a brand new outfit. She's telling me all about this. And she says, finally, here a week later, it come time to go on this date with my husband. And he says, Amelia, get in the car. And he picked up on this conversation now and wanted to finish it. So he starts talking, and he says, we go down the road, and then Amelia piped up again. And she says, now wait a minute, I got to tell her this part. And she says, he took me 2 blocks down the street from our house and parked the car. And she says, oh, we're going to a church tonight. And I started just cracking up laughing. And she says, on the sign, and he says, now wait a minute, let me tell her this part. She says, okay, okay. And he says, on the sign, it says, Firekeepers International, Shabbat service, tonight at 6. Everyone welcome. Come join us. And I just sat there stunned and in silence. I knew at that point, Lord in heaven, what have you done? Oh my gosh. So they go on to tell me this story. They go to this church, and they go to this Shabbat service with the Firekeepers International and the Riverwinds, okay? Chief Joseph Amahura Riverwind. You can find him on Facebook. And his wife, Dr. Laura Lynn Riverwind. They have YouTube videos. They're really awesome. And they do a lot of cool work in Israel. And so they just got back from Israel. And they're at this church in Georgia. And these people go to this church and meet them there. And this is what happened. Okay, this is what I was told. Chief Riverwind told this man, you need to send a Facebook friend request to our friend Oche'Nah in Washington State. She has a nonprofit, and she's really struggling over there serving the Yakama Nation, and she could really use your help. Okay, my jaw dropped again, okay? I'm just sitting there going, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, what's going on here? And so here, Chief Joseph told this man to send me a Facebook friend request, okay? Mm-hmm. And the Holy Spirit told me, send this man a friend request right now, hurry up.
Wow.
And so I'm connecting the dots here, going, okay.
So it was like the same day, or?
No, this was 3 days later.
3 days later.
3 days later after I sent him a request, okay? They messaged me through Facebook Messenger and wanted to meet me on the phone. And so I'm hearing their story, telling me all this stuff, and I'm just going, wow, hold on a minute, you guys. I need to tell you something, okay? When I sent you a Facebook friend request, the Holy Spirit told me to do it. And they said, you're kidding. I said, no, I'm not. And we all started laughing, and they thought that was really neat. And they said, you know, we're really glad you did, because we got so busy we forgot. We completely forgot to send you a friend request. And you sent me one that day, and this was a couple days after they had met the Riverwinds, okay? So 2 days after they had met the Riverwinds, I sent him a request. He was told to send me one 2 days prior to that, but didn't have time because they're big business owners and they operate corporations. So here we're getting connected on the phone, and this guy, after we got through all this stuff of how we got connected on Facebook, and we're all stunned, as a matter of fact, and praising God for this. He says, okay, now you need to be quiet and listen. Here he goes again, right? Okay, I'm listening. And he says, I'm going to tell you something right now. That truck of yours ain't going to pull that big trailer. You're going to die. And we're not going to have that. You need a truck. You need a truck that's going to pull that trailer, honey. What? What do you mean I need a truck? I said, I bought a $300 hitch with sway bars, for crying out loud. Calamity will handle it. She's weighted down with the whole camp. She's got brand new tires. She'll do it. No, no, no. I talked to my diesel mechanic. Your rear end's going to go out and you're going to raise your front end off the ground and you're not going to handle it. Okay, well, I'm going to try. And they swore up and down that I needed another truck. And so they insisted that I start looking for a truck. Okay. And here I'm just going, okay, now wait a minute. Now, aside from the thing on Facebook and God telling me to send you guys a request because you guys were too busy and didn't have time to do it, we're getting connected like this and you guys want to find me a truck to help me get to the camp, okay, because I have this great big trailer now to haul up there and this truck just wouldn't do it. I did try towing this trailer with the truck and I lost the front end a little bit just at 40 miles an hour right out here on the road. So they were right, you know, Calamity Jane was not going to handle that trailer. So they had me go looking for a truck and I looked all over, but I found a 4x4 that was the same color as this one, the same type of truck as this one, but a 4x4. And it had a package, let me tell you, all kinds of extras, gauges and all kinds of altimeter things up in the dash. A CB, that was cool, right? Oh, yeah, that's my style. Well, the owner was on vacation. It had over 200,000 miles. It had been wrecked, blah, blah, blah. They didn't want to negotiate. They didn't want to come down on the price. It was $12,000. They told me, if you're in love with that truck, that's fine, but we're not paying any more than $9 grand and you're going to end up with trouble. You'll have to pay off the last $4,000. Can you do that? I said, no, no, it's not happening. So keep looking. And I told him, I said, I'm not going to find anything around here. I'll have to look in Tri-Cities. So I got on the internet that night on my phone and I found this pickup in Pasco. I sent him the information through Messenger. The next morning they called the dealership. They called me back. They asked me a bunch of questions. And then they said they were going to wire a check for $9,041.51 to ODM-MIPSAHH's bank account. I had a friend take me to the bank, pick up my money, and I was driven down to Pasco with a cashier's check made out to the dealership. And I drove home a 2000 7.3 Power Stroke diesel. And I got to listen to music on the way home in this shiny new truck. You'd never know now, it's so darn dirty. Looked beautiful. And they were out there polishing it up. They wanted me to go down the road in a beautiful truck. And I cruised home with music and in style, crying all the way home that someone had done this for me. And this organization, that I would be able to leave for the camp now and tow the trailer safely. And God provided a horse hauler at the last minute, and I was able to go tow this trailer up there with this pickup. And I prayed, after I got this truck, I prayed for 3 days. I asked God what to call this truck. And I named her Miracle Madeline.
Nice.
Because she is truly indeed a miracle.
Wow.
So I thank you for the opportunity to share that story, because it was a huge blessing and it was a miracle. And this truck is ready to go. It's got a new water pump, a new starter, And I've already towed the trailer in to town to take care of VIN inspection.
And you've got supplies all loaded up here?
I've got supplies loaded up on this pickup. I've got 250 pounds of potatoes.
Let me see if I can get this lit up.
That was donated by Boucher's in Harrow, Washington, right here on the reservation. They're beautiful #2 reds. Yep, everything is on here already, the entire camp. I just got to throw on whatever's left and things like that, and I need a driver for this truck. I have no way to get it up there. I was kind of thinking that if I could have enough money somehow. I have 1 week left of fundraising and 1 week left to try to get some donations. So if that happens, then maybe I could rent a trailer from U-Haul and stick it behind this sucker and haul that hay up there. But you know, I've had a lot of people say, oh, you need somebody else to haul the hay and just let that truck drive by itself. That's too much for it. That ain't too much for Calamity. Shoot, she hauled another trailer up there for 8 years. And she packs this load just a squatting. So she's a tough little girl, man. She can handle it. She's an Indian truck.
Wow. That's so you need a couple $100, a trailer to take the hay up, and a horse trailer too, is that right?
I need a horse trailer donated really bad. Okay, I do. I've been trying to find one for years and I can't get one donated, so yeah. That would be really nice. Then I could haul my own horses and stuff, but it would still be a lot of work for me as a disabled person. I need help. I need somebody to help me handle the horses and load them and stuff like that. Yeah. Because really, by the time I'm done driving this truck up there, I can hardly get out of my pickup. You know, I can barely walk, and I need somebody who doesn't have physical problems to be able to move and stuff, because I've got to get the fence up in a hurry and get the horses stabilized up there, you know, and things like that. So, you know, I need people to kind of get involved. I need people to want to help in regards of the actual needs at the camp, you know.
All right. So volunteers, and so how can they get a hold of you? What's your contact information again?
My contact is ODM-MIPSAHH Native Outreach and Equine Therapy, 509-930-7919. You can also find us on Facebook now. ODM-MIPSAHH has a Facebook page. Look it up. It's got all the details for camp and current things that ODM is doing or involved with, or the message that ODM desires to send out to the people that it serves here.
All right.
Okay, I wanted to get back to the hair sticks real quick. These are real pretty. This is a new one. It's got a butterfly that matches it, but they're a weapon too. And this is something that I'm going to start making as many as I can. And I'm trying to sell them at a decent price at only $30 to $35. The one with the butterfly is $60. They're a weapon. You see, I got one in, right? If a man wants to assault a lady, I guarantee you that this will come out of your hair so fast, and all you got to do is go like that, okay? It's just like this. A guy comes at you, you put your hand up in front of you like this. You make a fist, okay? I'm going to be teaching this on the mountain this year in the self-defense class for women and teen girls. So if you got a man that's doing that, you got that hair stick. I see women packing baseball bats on the streets of Wapato here, okay? That's not cool with me. If they got a hair stick, and I'm going to make enough of these to give out to the homeless women for free, okay? I'm going to pass them out to them. And they've got a hair stick. There ain't going to be no more of it. They've got a formidable weapon in a hurry. No one is expecting them to rip something out and put that right upward into your guts like that. It's going to be over with in a hurry. So, with that said, let's grab a hoop real quick here. And let's have a moment with these horses. Okay, so right now he's dropping his head and he's doing something what's called collecting. Medicine Water's a real ham bone. I'm making him move away right now. Now you can come over here on an invitation. That's better. Yes. And you need to mind your space, okay? And don't be rude. No. He loves his ears scratched. But I can't hardly touch Pejuta's ears. He won't let me. No. You're such a baby. You're such a baby. Yeah. You're such a baby. Aren't you? He loves being on film. He just loves it when I turn on my phone.
That microphone there.
Pejuta's just standing over there like he always does, observing things. He's not sure about it.
It's not for eating.
No, watch them teeth. Yeah. Are you examining things here? What's it all about? Huh? What's it all about? What is that all about? You know you're going to be on YouTube. They're going to make you famous. Yeah. They're going to make you famous. Now, he's not real too scared of anything, but Pejuta over there, he stands at a distance all the time because he was an abused horse. He was traumatized really, really bad, so he's always going to have issues, you know? He's just like that. He holds his ears down like a mule and stuff, and so let's see if we can get him to respond a little bit.
You like this camera, huh?
Nikia, stand right there and Pejuta will come right up to you. Good boy. Good boy. Now see, I've been working with Pejuta with this hoop so he doesn't run off from me and act like a big scared baby. And he's getting really good at just letting it hang there on his ear. And he's getting nice and calm and comfortable with it there and stuff and doesn't seem to protest, huh? Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. His shoulder's a little chewed up in his neck here and stuff because the bugs just eat him up. If I put fly spray on him, it doesn't matter. He just still just rubs his shoulder on the trees and gets himself all scratched up and everything. Yeah, you just keep coming closer and you're going to make me dirty. Hey, if you believe in what you're seeing here, mountain woman Oche'Nah up there at camp, and you're seeing another side of me today. This is like more normal me here down in the valley, what I do, and today is the Sabbath, it's Shabbat, so I'm taking my rest and honoring the Lord, and Nikia's here to do this film, so thank you again for the opportunity, and I'm going to take Nikia out for pizza before he has to go down to Skamania County, okay? I love you guys. God bless you, okay? I love you. Thank you.
Cool of Oche'Nah to take me out to dinner, to pizza, to say thank you for the interviews, promoting her nonprofit. Spent quite a bit of time talking till 11:30 actually, and it's I drove for a little bit, and I've pulled over on the side of the road, and I'm just gonna crash because I'm so tired. It's 1 o'clock right now, 1 a.m. I'm supposed to start the search for Zutzwitz in the morning at 9 a.m. I was hoping to camp up there, but with 2 more hours to go, I think it's just going to be better if I just sleep. It's going to be safer, and I'll be able to drive more safely. I'll be less tired in the morning, and I'll be able to drive faster because I can see if there's deer crossing the road or whatever. See where I'm going. So I'm just going to get up in the morning and go to bed. You know, it's kind of really looking forward to it tomorrow, to the search. And the search for Austin especially has been elusive, blocked for about 2 years. I've been trying to get back up there to search for him, but it's been just stuff going on, forest fires, and now this may be the final chance. And I'm disappointed I'm not going to get a camp out tonight with the rest of the guys. Oh well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Tonight's just me, rat and cat, and a 45. 90 night.